Motherboard, the foundation of everything. Imagine you want to build a house. You need a strong base or foundation first, right? That foundation is the motherboard. The motherboard is a big flat rectangular board that sits inside the computer case. It has hundreds of tiny circuits, lines, and connectors printed on it. Every other part we are going to talk about, the brain, the memory, the storage, plugs directly into this motherboard. It acts like a big meeting point or a highway system that allows all parts to connect and talk to each other using electricity. Without the motherboard, nothing can work together. It is like the heart of the computer because it lets data and power flow between all components. Even though it's super important, it's usually not the most expensive part. CPU, the brain of the computer. Now let's talk about the most important thinking part, the CPU, Central Processing Unit. The CPU is a small square chip that sits on the motherboard. It is usually covered with a big cooling fan or a metal heatsink, so it doesn't get too hot. We call the CPU the brain of the computer because it does all the thinking and calculating. Every single thing you do on the computer, typing a letter, opening WhatsApp, playing a song, calculating numbers in Excel, or even moving your mouse, the CPU is doing millions of tiny calculations every second to make it happen instantly. Example: when you type hello on the keyboard, the CPU quickly understands the instruction, processes it, and tells the screen to show the letters. It does this so fast that you don't even notice the delay. The better and more expensive the CPU, the faster your computer can think and do multiple things at the same time. Graphics card, GPU, the artist of the computer. While the CPU is the logical brain, the graphics card, also called GPU, is the artistic part. It is a long rectangular board that also plugs into the motherboard. In the middle, there is a big powerful chip and usually big fans or cooling systems on top because it gets very hot when working. The GPU's main job is to handle everything visual, drawing images, videos, animations, and 3D graphics on your screen. When you play video games, especially with beautiful graphics, watch YouTube or Netflix in high quality, edit photos or videos, do any kind of design work, your GPU is doing most of the hard work to make everything look smooth and pretty on the screen. Important for beginners asterisk. Many normal computers don't have a separate big graphics card. Instead, they use integrated graphics, iGPU, which is built inside the CPU itself. It's like using the same engine for both thinking and drawing. It saves money and power, but it's not very strong. That's why in heavy games you may have to put graphics on low settings so the computer doesn't lag or freeze. Hard drive, HDD, the long-term storage. Now, where does the computer keep all your files? That's the job of the hard drive, HDD. It is a rectangular metal box, usually 3.5 inches big. Inside it has shiny spinning disks, like small CDs, and a tiny moving arm that reads and writes data. The hard drive stores everything permanently. Windows or your operating system. All your installed programs and games. Your photos, videos, music, documents. It can store a huge amount of data at a cheap price. But because it has moving parts, spinning disks plus moving arm, it is quite slow at finding and giving data to the CPU. That's why when you click to open a big program, it sometimes takes time. The hard drive is still searching with its slow-moving parts. RAM, the quick access, short-term memory. This is where most beginners get confused, so let me explain with a perfect real-life example. Imagine your hard drive is a huge messy garage full of tools, boxes, clothes, and everything you own. If you need a screwdriver, you have to go inside the garage, search through all the mess, and bring it out. It takes time. RAM is like your tool bag that you keep right next to you while working. Before starting work, you put the tools you need right now, screwdriver, hammer, tape, into the tool bag. Now you can grab them instantly without going back to the garage every time. RAM does exactly the same thing. It takes the data the CPU needs right now from the hard drive and keeps it ready. This makes your computer super fast and responsive. You can open many programs at once because everything is quickly available in RAM. But remember one important thing. RAM is temporary memory. When you shut down the computer, everything in RAM is erased. The tool bag gets emptied. That's why you have to save your work, to put it back into the permanent storage, hard drive, or SSD. SSD, the fast and modern storage. The SSD, solid-state drive, does the same job as the hard drive. It stores all your data permanently. But instead of spinning disks and moving arms, it uses fast memory chips, similar to a big USB drive, but much more powerful. Because there are no moving parts, it is much faster. Your computer starts in 10 to 15 seconds instead of 1 to 2 minutes. It is more durable and quiet. Everything feels snappy, opening apps, copying files, loading games. SSDs are more expensive than hard drives, so many people use both. Cooling system, keeping the computer cool. When the CPU and GPU work hard, like when playing games or editing videos, they become very hot. Just like a car engine gets hot when driving fast. If the temperature gets too high, the computer slows down automatically to protect itself, or in worst cases, parts can get damaged. That's why we need cooling. A fan is usually attached directly on top of the CPU. Additional fans are placed inside the case to suck in cool air and push out hot air. In very powerful computers, people use liquid cooling, like a small radiator and tubes with liquid, which cools much better than normal fans. Good cooling equals stable performance and longer life of your components. Power supply unit, PSU, the electricity provider. All the parts we talked about need electricity to work. The power supply unit, PSU, is the rectangular box that takes normal electricity from your wall socket and converts it into the safe, correct power that each component needs. Think of it as the heart that pumps blood to every part. If the power supply is weak or low quality, your computer may suddenly shut down, restart, or even damage other expensive parts. Laptops also have a power supply. It's the charger you plug into the wall. They also have a battery, so you can use the laptop without plugging in.